Hello everyone, welcome to Forensic Extract, and today his topic is the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012. So, in order to effectively address the heinous crime of sexual abuse and sexual exploitation of children through less ambiguous and more stringent legal provisions, the Ministry of Women and Child Development championed the introduction of the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012. This is called as POCSO Act. Now, the POCSO Act, or the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012, contains various chapters. The chapter number 1 contains preliminary, that is short title, accident and commencements. The act may be called the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012, and it extends to whole of the India except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, it also includes various definitions like definition of aggravated sexual assault, aggravated penetrative sexual assault, aggravated sexual assault, then armed forces and security forces, then child. Child means any person below the age of 18 years according to POCSO Act. And definitions of sexual assault, sexual harassment, the shared household means a household where the person charged with the offense lives or has lived at any time in a domestic relationship with the child. This is called as sexual household in the POCSO Act. Then is various provisions for special courts. Then provision of special public prosecutor that we will discuss in upcoming slides. So now the chapter number 2 includes sexual offenses against children. The first one is the penetrative sexual assault. That is, when a person is said to commit penetrative sexual assault if point number A is he penetrates his penis to such an extent into the vagina, mouth, urethra, or anus of a child, or makes the child to do so with him or any other person. Or point number B is he inserts to any extent any object or a part of the body not being the penis into the vagina, urethra, anus of the child, or make the child to do so with him or any other person. Or point number C is he manipulates any part of the body of child so as to cause penetration into the vagina, urethra, anus, or any part of the body of the child, or makes the child to do so with him or any other person. Now the point number D is he applies his mouth to the penis, vagina, anus, or urethra of the child, or makes the child to do so to such person or any other person. So these are 4 points which are covered in penetrative sexual assault. Now the aggravated penetrative sexual assault. So the penetrative sexual assault is aggravated when it is done by whoever, being a police officer, commits penetrative sexual assault on a child within the limits of the police station or the premises at which he is appointed, or in the premises of any station house whether or not situated in the police station to which he is appointed, or in the course of his duty or otherwise, or where he is known as or identified as police officer. So these are various conditions in which it is called as aggravated sexual penetrative sexual assault. Now, whoever being a member of armed forces or security forces commits penetrative sexual assault within the limits of the area to which the person is deployed, or in any area under the command of forces or armed forces, or in the course of his duty or otherwise, or where the said person is known or identified as a member of security or armed forces. Now, whenever whoever being a public servant commits penetrative sexual assault on a child, or whoever being on the management or on the staff of a jail, remand home, or protection home, or observation home, or other place of custody or care or protection of establishment by or under any law for the time being in force commits penetrative sexual assault on a child, being inmate of such jail, remand home, protection home, observation home, or other place of custody, care, and protection, or who are being on the management of or staff of a hospital, or who are being on the management or staff of an educational institution or some religious institution. Now, the whoever commits gang penetrative sexual assault on a child, or whoever commits penetrative sexual assault on a child using deadly weapons, fire, heated substance, corrosive substances. Now, whoever commits penetrative sexual assault causing grievous hurt or causing bodily harm or injury to the sexual organs of child. And if whoever commits penetrative sexual assault on a child which physically incapacitate the child or cause the child to become mentally ill, or in case of a female child makes the child pregnant, or inflict the child with human immunodeficiency virus or any other life-threatening disease or infection which may either temporarily or permanently impair the child by rendering him physically incapacitated or mentally ill to perform regular tasks. And who are taking advantage of a child's mental or physical disability commits penetrative sexual assault on the child is also included into aggravated sexual penetrative sexual assault. Now, whoever commits penetrative sexual assault on a child more than once or repeatedly, whoever commits penetrative sexual assault on a child if the age of the child is below 12 years, whoever being a relative of a child through blood or relation or adoption or marriage or guardianship or in a foster care or having a domestic relationship with the parent of a child or who is living in the same or share household with the child commits penetrative sexual assault on such child. So this is also included in under aggravated sexual assault. Now, whoever being in the ownership or management or staff of any institution provides service to the child commits penetrative sexual assault. Whoever being in the position of trust and authority of a child. Now, whoever commits penetrative sexual assault on a child knowing the child is pregnant. And whoever commits penetrative sexual assault on a child and attempt to murder the child. Whoever commits penetrative sexual assault on a child in the course of communal or sectarian violence, or whoever commits penetrative sexual assault on a child who has been previously convicted of having committed any offense under this act or any sexual offense punishable under any other law for the time being in force, or whoever commits penetrative sexual assault on a child or makes the child to strip or parade naked in the public is said to commit aggravated penetrative sexual assault. Now, these are the various points which are included in under aggravated penetrative sexual assault. Now, the sexual assault that is defined as whoever with the sexual intent touches the vagina, penis, anus, breast of the child or makes the child touch the vagina, penis, anus or breast of such person or any other person or does any other act with sexual intent which involves physical contact without penetration is said to commit sexual assault. Now, similarly, the aggravated sexual assault, it is if it is done by police officer, like in case of aggravated penetrative sexual assault, or if it is done by some member of armed forces, or by any public servant, by any management, or on staff of a jail management staff, or staff of a hospital management, or staff of any educational institution, or commits any gang penetrative sexual assault and by using deadly weapon, fire, heated substance, corrosive substances, whoever commits sexual assault causing grievous injury or causing bodily harm or injury to the sexual organ of child is included under aggravated sexual assault. Now, whoever commits sexual assault on a child which physically incapacitate the child or makes the child mentally ill or inflict the child with human immunodeficiency virus or any other life-threatening disease or infection, whoever taking advantage of a child's mental or physical disability, and or whoever commits sexual assault on the child more than once, whoever commits sexual assault on a child less than if the age of the child is less than 12 years, or whoever being a relative of the child through blood adoption or the marriage or guardianship or in the foster care having domestic relationship with the parents of the child who is living in the same or shared household with the child commits sexual assault on such child, it's also included under aggravated sexual assault. Or who are being in the ownership or management of or staff of an institution provided service to the child, whoever in a position of trust or authority of a child and already knowing that child is pregnant and whoever commits sexual assault on a child to attempt to murder the child. Now we are having sexual harassment. It is a person is said to commit sexual harassment upon a child when such person with sexual intent utters any word or makes any sound or makes any gesture or exhibits any object or part of the body with the intention that such word sound shall be heard, or such gesture or the object or part of the body shall be seen by the child, or make makes a child exhibit his body or any part of his body so as it is seen by such person or any other person. So this is point number 2. Then point number 3 is shows any object to a child in any form or media for pornographic purpose, or repeatedly or constantly follows, watches or contacts a child either directly through electronic or digital any other mean, or pretends to use in any form of media a real or fabricated depiction through electronic, film, digital or any other mode of any part of the body of the child, or involvement of the child in sexual act, or entices a child for pornographic purpose or gives gratification thereof. Therefore, these are the various points which are included under sexual harassment. Now, the chapter number third includes using child for pornographic purpose. That is, whoever uses a child in any form of media, including programmed or advertisement, telecast by television channel or internet or any other electronic form or printed form, whether or not such programmed or advertisement is intended for personal use for the distribution for the purpose of sexual gratification, which includes the representation of sexual organs of the child, uses of a child engaged in real or simulated sexual act, and the indecent or obscene representation of a child. So this comes under the using the child for pornographic purpose. Now the chapter number 4 includes abetment or attempt to commit an offense. That is, if a person abets an offense, who instigates any person to do that offense, or engages with one or more or other person or person in any conspiracy for the doing of that offense, or intentionally aids or by any act or illegal omission the doing of that offense. So these are all included in chapter number 4, that is abetment or attempt to commit an offense. Now the punishments for various offenses, like punishment for penetrative sexual assault is imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 7 years, but which may extend to life imprisonment, or shall also be liable to fine. Now, the punishment for aggravated penetrative sexual assault is the punishment with rigorous imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 10 years, but which may extend to life imprisonment and shall also be liable to fine. Now, the punishment for sexual assault is imprisonment of either description for a term which shall not be less than 3 years and which may extend to 5 years and shall also be liable to fine. Now, the punishment for aggravated sexual assault is imprisonment of either description for a term which shall not be less than 5 years, but which may extend to 7 years or and shall also be liable to fine. So, and the punishment for sexual harassment is imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 3 years and shall also be liable to fine. Now, the punishment for using the child for pornographic purpose is the imprisonment for a term which may extend to 5 years and fine also. In the event of a second or subsequent conviction with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 7 years and also be liable to fine. Now, the punishment for abetment and attempt to commit an offense for a term which may extend to one half of imprisonment for life, or as the case may be, one half of the longest term of imprisonment provided for that offense, or with fine or with both. So these are various punishments described under the POCSO Act for various offenses. Now, the chapter number 5 includes the procedure for reporting the cases. The cases of child sexual abuses can be reported by Any person, including the child, and who has apprehension that an offence under this act is likely to be committed, or has knowledge that such offence has been committed, or he shall provide such information to a special juvenile police unit or the local police, or and the every report given under subsection 1 shall be ascribed an entry number or recorded in writing and be read over to the informant and shall be entered in a book to be kept in the police unit. And where the report under the subsection is given by a child, the same shall be recorded under subsection given in the act in a simple language so that the child understands contents being recorded. In cases contents are being recorded in the language not understood by the child, or wherever it is deemed necessary, a translator or interpreter having such qualification or experience on payment of such fees may be prescribed. The Special Juvenile Police Unit or local police shall, without unnecessary delay but within a period of 24 hours, report the matter to the Child Welfare Committee and the Special Court, or where no special court has been designated, the Court of Session, including need of the child for care and protection and step taken in this regard. So this is the basic procedure for reporting of the cases of sexual offences, child sexual offences under POCSO Act. Now various procedures are given for media, like no person shall make any report or present comments on any child, and no report in any media shall disclose the identity of any child. The publisher and owner of the media or studio or photographic facility shall be jointly or severally liable for any act or commission of his employee. Now the chapter number 6 include the procedure for recording statement of a child. This statement shall be recorded at the residence of the child, at any place where the usually resides, or at any place of his choice, as far as practicable, by a woman police officer, not below the rank of sub-inspector. Or the police officer, while recording the statement of the child, shall not be in the uniform. The police officer making the investigation shall, while examining the child, ensure that at no point of time the child come in contact in any way with the accused. Now, no child shall be detained in the police station in the night for any reason. The police officer shall ensure that the identity of child is protected from the public media. Now, the additional provision regarding statement to be recorded, the magistrate or the police officer, as the case may be, shall record the statement as spoken by the child in the presence of parents of the child or any other person in whom the child has trust and or confidence. And wherever necessary, the magistrate or police officer, as the case may be, may take the assistance of any translator or interpreter. Now, the provision of medical examination of a child. The medical examination of a child in respect of whom any offence has been committed under this Act shall, notwithstanding that a first information report or complaint has not been registered for the offence under this Act, be conducted in accordance with the Section 161A of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. Now, in case of a victim is a girl child, the medical examination shall be conducted by a women doctor. The medical examination shall be conducted in the presence of parent of the child or any other person in whom the child reposes trust or confidence. Now, chapter number 7 includes special courts. So there is a provision for the purpose of providing a speedy trial, that the state government shall, in consultation with the Chief Justice of High Court, by notification in the official gazette, designate for each district a court of session to be a special court to try the offences under the POCSO Act. Now, the procedure and power of a special court in recording of evidences, that is, a special court may take cognizance of any offence without accused being committed to it for trial, and upon receiving a complaint of fact which constitutes such offence, upon a police report of such fact. Now, the special public prosecutor are appointed in each the special courts. As the case may be, the counsel appearing for the accused shall, while recording the examination in chief or cross or re-examination of the child, communicate the questions to be put to the child to the special court which shall in turn put those questions to the child. So this is the provision of special as well as special public prosecutors for the purpose of speedy trial in child sexual abuse cases. So this is all about POXO Act, and thank you guys, and please keep on watching, and please do subscribe, and let me know any useful comment, and please suggest me any topic of your interest. So thank you.